Hi, I'm Sally Cannon and welcome back to my kitchen. Today in my kitchen I'll be making one of our family favourites, sticky chops. But before we get started, remember our few housekeeping rules we have. If you haven't already, please click subscribe down there in the bottom right corner to my YouTube channel. Secondly, we have to wash our hands, which I've already done. And third, the most important, pour ourselves a glass of wine. Already made a start on this one. Today I'm going to be drinking a Scrubby Rise Sauv Blanc from Wirra Wirra in the Adelaide Hills. Now, I made a bit of a mistake in my first video. I forgot to pour one for my cameraman. So, my cameraman, producer, director, editor. There you go, Jane. Enjoy. Thank you. Very important to maintain your fluids when cooking. Rightio. This recipe I have got from our good friends Sammy and Gards, who they actually got it from the Spirit House on the Sunshine Coast. Famous restaurant a lot of people are familiar with. I've never been there myself, but Sammy and Gards have been there a few times, and I reckon every time I make this recipe I ring them and get them to send me it because I keep losing it. But today I've got the recipe. It is so simple, really easy to do. I'm just trimming a bit of the fat off the chops. I'm using chump chops today. You could probably use any sort of chop, a barbecue chop, a lamb chop, anything. And you can also use pork spare ribs, which I've used from time to time as well. But just making them that little bit leaner. So just do that, pop them into your bowl. Actually, don't put them in the bowl. I'm going to make the marinade first. We'll get to that. So there we go. Now, this is so simple, this marinade. Ingredients are balsamic vinegar, tomato paste, golden syrup, rosemary and garlic. That's basically it. So we get started, we need, now once again, I'm not that great on quantities, 50 mils of balsamic vinegar. That's about right. Tomato paste, 100. Now, how I measure, the jar says 500, so I need a fifth of the jar. Yeah, that's about right. Probably a bit more, that doesn't matter. There we go. And golden syrup, we need 150. My same way of measuring. This is a kilo jar of golden syrup, so probably just a little bit over. And how I do it, I don't know if you can see, pop it in and just sort of turn the jar and pull back a bit and try not to get it sticky on the sides. You know what, I'm just going to put a little bit more in, just to sweeten up a bit. Turn the jar, have your paper towel handy, wipe the sides of your jar. There you go. Lovely. Now, garlic, 2 cloves, once again, as I said, or as I should have said in my last recipe, invest in a good garlic crusher. You won't be sorry. I'm popping 2 into this one, like so, and the little bits from in there. Fantastic. Now, rosemary. If you haven't got rosemary growing in your garden, I suggest you go and get some, because the amount of recipes that you have rosemary in are staggering. So just pull the leaves off, fairly easy. And I'm going to be using my moon knife just to give them a bit of a chop. Like so. Now this dish would go perfectly with the Brussels sprout salad that we made in a previous episode. Like I said, it's a recipe from the Spirit House on the Sunshine Coast, so if you're up that way, make sure you pop in when you can. Now pop that into there, like so, and a little bit of salt and pepper. Once again, white pepper. There we go. Get your whisk. Hang on. See all of the ingredients. in there. We'll give them a bit of a whisk. There's some flavours in there that you're probably thinking, oh, okay. But it all comes together really nicely. Okay, should be there. Pop your chops in. You could cook them straight away. The recipe does say to marinate for about half an hour, so there we go. Toss them around. So what we'll do, we'll pretend we've marinated them for half an hour. Like so. Now, obviously with the golden syrup, it's going to be very sticky. You can put them in a normal oven pan if you like, but I'd like to cheat a bit and get one of these because they can make an awful mess. And poor Mick, who's not on deck today, it's a lot of washing up for him to do. So this just takes the pressure off for me. And once again, get yourself a glove. And just lay them out in your tray. Bit of glad bake. You can put some glad bake on your normal oven tray, so that could help keep it a bit clean. But I'm just being a little bit cheap today. Be good for the Barbie, but only if it's someone else's Barbie, because I'll make a mess of your Barbie. Or unless you've got one of those barbecue mat things, that'd be alright. Alright, pop them in the oven for about 30 to 40 minutes. Don't have them too high to start with because it might burn, the golden syrup might burn. So just do keep an eye on them because they can go it can go badly quite quickly if you don't keep an eye on that golden syrup. But yeah, we'll be back shortly to see how they're looking. Okay, so the chops have been cooking now for approximately a bottle and a quarter, but just remember, my camera woman Jane is also drinking with me. So let's just see how they are. I can't see a thing, I'm all fogged up. They look fantastic. So we'll just plate them up now. Okay, so the chops have been cooking now for about 30 to 40 minutes, but in real time, a bottle and a quarter of the scrubby rice Sauv Blanc. But just don't forget, my camera woman, Jane, has also been drinking with me. Now let's get them out of the oven. I wish we had smell-o-vision on this show because they smell fantastic. So dish them up onto your serving plate. And like I said, don't have the heat too high because they will burn. If you just have a nice gentle heat around 150, 160, they'll just tick along nicely. And then we've got all this beautiful sauce that we can drizzle over it that's not quite burnt. Oops, hang on a minute. I might just get a spoon for that. We probably don't want all the sauce, just a little bit. Smells amazing. And like I said, the perfect accompaniment to the Brussels sprout salad that we did cook in one of the earlier episodes. And you can do pork spare ribs and other cuts of the lamb. Just beautiful. Maybe serve it with a bit of rice as well. So there we go. Sticky chops, recipe courtesy of the Spirit House on the Sunshine Coast, and absolutely delicious. Bon appetit.